This is Nancy, the Disorderly Stitcher. It is Friday, July 12th, 2024. If you are new to this channel, it is mostly about my cross stitch and quilting and disorderly squirrel life. I appreciate you stopping by. If you like what you see, please hit that the like bell, and then you'll be notified with any content I upload. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking your time out of your busy Flosstube day to sit and stitch a while. If you have not subscribed, I would greatly appreciate that. I know that, I don't know about you, but I have like gobs of floss tubes and other channels that I have subscribed to, and I know I don't have time in my day to watch every single one, and I feel so bad. But at the same time, I'm not going to unsubscribe, because you never know. You might learn something. So I hope you all are doing well. I know that we've been gripped in this bi-coastal heat wave. I hope that all of us in the East are doing well and in the West are doing well. Those of you who have been hit with those wildfires, please take care of yourselves. I cannot imagine dealing with that. Those of you down in Texas along the Gulf Coast, please take care of yourselves. I know that, the Houston area has been hit time after time after time. So I hope that you are well. We got a little bit of rain out of Hurricane Beryl. It was supposed to hit like about supper time and rain, and there was this line going through, and and then later on it rained. So I don't know. I'm just thankful for the rain. Right now my grass is in shock. And my husband and grandson have been at Cub Scout camp, Weeblos camp, all week. So I'm sure sometime this weekend he's going to have to mow the lawn, which is like wild. So what else have I been up to? Yesterday I spent a wonderful day with a friend of mine. She had helped run me back and forth to therapy and an orthopedist appointment at one point, the checkup at 2 weeks. So I said, come on, let's go out and let's do what we want to do. So she's doing the Mid-Atlantic quilt shop hop. And so I said, well, come on, I'll drive. And, yeah, I love having my wheels back after my knee replacement. So we drove north and northwest, I guess. My husband's probably, like, no, it's northeast. Anyway, north. And hit, 4 shops. I had not planned on buying anything, but as well as I do that when it comes to quilting and stitching and whatever craft you do, the best laid plans go out the door as soon as you walk in the shop. So yes, I did buy some fabric, which I will show, just quickly in a minute. And I have been stitching for the past couple of weeks. Not a whole lot, because I want to get some of these quilts done. And so I have a combination quilting and stitching to show you. All right. So let's talk about this. So the first thing I'm going to show you is my quilting. I do apologize if I looked rather scattered, because I had this all done, and the upload gods were not uploading the other day on Wednesday, so I just pitched the video and started over. So I have been working on this quilt. It's called Prairie Meadow by Lori Holtz, and this is probably 3 or 4 years old. It was a quilt along that she put out for her new fabric line. It is applique. I am doing machine applique with her method with interfacing. And I finally got all 12 blocks done. If you follow me on Instagram, and the address, my Instagram, I don't know if you call it an address, handle, identification, whatever you want to call it. is down below. I have posted block pictures as I completed them this summer. It's one of those where, the first summer I think I did 6 blocks and then, or 3 blocks, and then last summer I did 3 blocks. And this summer, with the knee operation and the fact that I'm now retired officially as of July 1st, I just was like, I got to get this done. I have to get this done. So I got all 12 blocks done and I started putting the blocks together into the quilt top. And before I could get started, I realized I did not have enough fabric for the sashing, which is the pieces that go between the blocks if you're not a quilter. And so I had, darn, I had to go order a yard of fabric. And I know I over ordered, but I'd rather over than under. So this is the first 3 blocks. And I'm going to try and, move from one end to the other. I hope you can see this because I can't see what you see. So this is my goal to get done in the next couple of weeks, to get this quilt top put together. Yay! I used to feel really bad about not getting quilts done in a timely manner, but then, as you get older, you give yourself grace and you're like, well, I'll get it done when I get it done, right? So then, of course, since I was like, well, this one's getting done, I started another one. This is Pumpkins and Blossoms by Fig Tree. It came in this beautiful box, and was it last summer, I think, maybe, or the summer before, I had cut all the pieces. I put it aside. So I thought, okay, it's all cut. Let's do this thing. So it's what I call organized scrappy because each block is relatively different. So I had started down here with this one, and I put all the centers together that had this word print on it. And then I thought, you know what? That's just going to confuse the bejeebers out of me. So I started working on them by row. So I have this whole row, and I think this one done, and this one. So I'm not going to bore you with all of the blocks. I'll show you a couple that I have finished, and I know I'm being orderly, but I have to be somewhat orderly with this, otherwise I'll mess up. So there's one of them, and you can see the word print in the center. It's a nice fall quilt. I only have 6 or 7 of these done, so there's one with the gray. So I'll be posting pictures of these periodically on Instagram as I go. And I have a couple other quilt kits that I need to do. I have gobs of fabric. One of these days I'll do a little tour of my 10 by 10 room and show you exactly what I have packed in here and how, packed it is. I saw a postcard or a license plate one time, whoever dies with the most fabric wins. I don't know if I have the most fabric, but I've got a lot. And I feel bad. A lot of what I have is fat quarters. A fat quarter is an 18 by 22 piece. Because I like scrappy quilts. And I'm figuring, okay, one of these days, I'm just going to take these fat quarters and I'm going to chop them up into squares and go with it. And just start putting them together into little blocks and putting the blocks together. And yeah. So to give you an example, let me see if I can find something I bought yesterday. All right, so a lot of what I bought yesterday, I just bought pieces that I knew would make good project bags because Lord knows I don't need things for quilts. Okay, so the Quilt Shop Hop came out with a line of fabric, and there's like this one has the different states and what's the word? Things from that state. Um, so like the blue crab, I know it's upside down. Um, the Cape May Lighthouse, Cape Charles Lighthouse, Chesapeake Bay Bridge. Um, so anyway, so there's that. So yeah, this will make a great project bag because as a social studies teacher, I'm into nerd things like that. And in another shop, I found they had flags. So I will make project bags out of these, and whatever's left, I will cut up into scrappy strips and I will use. Then I found the state flowers. So I'll probably use these as the liner of a bag. Okay. And they have the birds. So I will use this as a bag or two and scrap up the rest. So the cool thing about scrappy quilts is that you get to revisit fabrics that you may not have seen in a while. And I love them. Okay. And I have a 6-drawer cabinet from IKEA that is full of strips that I need to work into quilts. And I get my scrappy inspiration from Bonnie Hunter of Quiltville, and she does the most beautiful scrappy quilts, and they're not that difficult. So if you ever want to check into quilting, check out Bonnie Hunter. YouTube it, right? That's what we do now. We YouTube it. All right. So that's my quilting. Okay. So what have I been stitching? I started, being the low maintenance person that I am. My husband would differ in some ways, but that's what we do. I had taken some scraps. So here's another idea of what I did with my scraps. Made this cover for a composition book, and instead of printing out some fancy form, I just started, jotting down things as I do them for my Flosstube episodes. So this is episode 50. So what have I been stitching? I'm losing my mind. All right. So my Boss Me, I don't have my calendar here with me. I left it in the other room. My Boss Me Whip Go and Heifer board came up. I know I have to gift a friend. One of the things I had to do was Christmas, and I changed it to patriotic because I just wasn't feeling the the Christmas. And my board's my rules, right? And I have to work on Hands Across the Sea and a sampler, which again, my board, my rules, I can combine that, so I can work on a sampler. And if it's a Hands Across the Sea, I can knock those two things out at once. So slowly but surely, I am getting things accomplished. And if you are interested in knowing what WhipGo is, it's like a bingo board, and you can check it out on Jessie Marie Does Stuff. And you're going to hear my cat because for some reason she's all like meowy right now. I think she thinks she needs to eat. She decided she wanted breakfast at 4:30 this morning. Like, fine, I'll feed you. So, the first one I'm going to show you is Anong Endel by Hands Across the Sea. Anne and I have a great love-hate relationship. If you've been following me, you know that this green line border, I worked on it at Steel City Stitchers in 2023, and I would stitch and I would frog, and I would stitch and I would frog, and I would stitch and I would frog. It got to be a joke with my table mates because every once in a while they'd hear "damn," and they knew exactly what I did, and they started counting the number of times I had to frog. Then at Steel City this year, I took it, yeah, like, duh. I took it with me because I wanted everybody to see how much progress I had made. And I had this flower done, I think it is, one of these flowers. And so I was going to get another flower done. Well, I flipped the page one too many pages and I did the same colorway. If you can see that, I did this colorway in the middle instead of this. I am not ripping it out. So I'll just have to make sure that I do all three at the bottom the same way. But as much as we have this love-hate relationship, Anne and I are going to, we're going to complete this project. I am doing the DMCs. I did not get the silks. I have them on various floss drops from various friends. Anne is still in the hoop because I am working on her. So this is when I last saw you, I had stitched up to this flower. So what I have gotten done in the past couple days is these leaves and these little nubbies. Yeah, that's a technical term, nubbies, on the vine. And I did this flower and this flower and this. I'm working on this flower. So I'm working on the little tiny leaves that go around it. I will most likely shift the hoop so that I can get these little leaves done. Now, a couple videos ago, and I know I talked about it in the last video, but I didn't have a show and tell to demonstrate. Someone asked me why I put my hoops on like this. So I think it's called stitching in the well, because you can see it's in the hoop and the back is flat. I have learned that, like, if I'm stitching way down here, okay, that, like, there's the edge of the hoop. I can get these things done and I can slide my needle under to end my thread. Whereas if it was this way and this was the back, I'd have to contend with the edge of the hoop. So that's why I do that. Okay, so this is Anong Endel. I have done some of the over one. Here, I'll show you what I've got done so far. So it's coming. This is on 36 count. It might be porcelain. I'm not sure. I'll check and try to put the correction up here if I'm wrong. It's not Roxy Floss. What's the fabric company called? I can't remember. I'll figure that out too. So I had purchased 2 pieces so that I could do Anne and I could do her sister, Isabella. So there we go. And why do I have this little thing right there? Because that was at the bottom of one of the pages. It's a multi-page project. And like this flower is done. I don't know if you can see it. This flower is done with 10 stitch because I just could not get full crosses in there with DMC. Now the stems are full crosses because I didn't think it looked right with 10 stitch stems. So this flower is over 1. This flower's over 1. This flower's over 1. And I like doing the over 1. This was my first attempt at over 1. You buy the chart before you read the directions, right? And it tells you on the Hands Across the Sea what kind of stitches, if there's over 1, if there's this, if there's that. And, I didn't do that. So I just, hey, I like that. Let's buy it. I keep this, of all things, in my Halloween kitty bag that was made by Barbara Johns. I picked this up at Steel City. I'm not a matchy bag person necessarily. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Where am I? Another thing I worked on, sorry for leaning over. Like I said, I had done this the other day and then never put everything away, which is probably a good thing. Another thing I worked on at the end of June is Kirby, 1845. This is a sampler by Needlework Press. I believe it was one of the samplers from history that Country Sampler put out as a kit. And I'm having fun with this one. I started working on this one because Emily C had shown it in one of her videos and said she wanted to start it. So I messaged her and I said, okay, I'll start this with you. So I don't know how far she's gotten, but the one thing I like about this one is that border is all one color green and those flowers are the same color. You just have to be careful because like the spaces, let me see, like here, the stitches on either side of the stem, one side I think has 3, one side has 4. So you just have to make sure that you get the count of stitches correct. So I am doing this on a piece of 40 count, I think it's 40 count angel hair by Weeks, and it's old Weeks because it doesn't have the orange stripe, and I'm okay with that. You know, I mean, linen is linen. Linen is a natural fiber, and unless you're a machine, you're not going to get these linen strands absolutely uniform. Which I know machines do it now, but I'm okay with, I don't know what you call them, slubs. I don't have a problem with that. So I tried to work on finish page 1, which I did, and then I was having so much fun. I did some more of the border across the top. I started the house, and then I wanted to get this motif done because it's split between page 1 and page 2. And yes, there is an error or two in there, and I know it, and you know it, but you don't know where it is, and I'm okay with that. And you can see the beautiful variegation in the roof and in the house. The actual pattern called for a very varied group of silk stinky dyes, Belle Soie. I'm doing the Classic Colorworks conversion, except for 2 of them. At the time, I did not have, what is that, 746. It was probably in another project, and I didn't have Classic Colorworks straw hat, so I pulled out 2 color and cotton. So there's not that many colors. There we go. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Happy, happy, happy. And after all, that's what matters, right? Stitcher needs to be happy. I keep this in a bag I made with coffee. I think I purchased a piece of this when I was making masks for the dreaded time of needing masks. And I thought, okay, why not? And then I had a small piece of Lori Holt brown plaid. I guess that's plaid. And I used it as the interior. Okay, the next thing I have been working on is my friend Chris the Camping Stitcher and I decided we wanted to start this as a SAL. I have not gotten that far because another patriotic stitch grabbed me and I wanted to get it done. This is from Sweet Land of Liberty by Blackbird. It is one of their many, many beautiful books. And we are doing In Full Glory. It's this one right here. Okay. I know there's another stitch along for Abigail. I'm not sure what it's called. It is called Salute to Abigail. So anyway, in full glory, here's a better picture of it. All right. In Full Glory calls for a combination of Gentle Arts and one Classic Colorworks. And I am doing this on a piece of, again, I think it's Old Weeks. It's the gray, what they used to call Confederate gray. And it called for 30 count. I'm using 36 count, so mine's going to be much smaller. I figured that since, you know, I am in the Color and Cotton Thread Club, I might as well be using my Color and Cotton. So I went through and I pulled my own Color and Cotton colors. The house is according to the chart, the house is color and I will start over. The house is charted for Classic Colorworks used brick. Color and Cotton has old brick. Now, it's reading more orange. But it does look like, you know, old bricks on a house that start to fade. So, I like it. So I got the house done. I'm pleased. And you can see the variegation in the gray for the roof and in the red for the house. Same gray in the windows and the door. All right. So that's on my list to do. I may have to add, I use my Nurge #1. It's a smaller hoop. But I may have to go back and add some fabric to the edges to make sure I can get enough of the design area in the hoop so I can finish it. I cut it big enough to make a pillow out of it. I don't think I allowed myself enough to adequately put the hoop on. So that's In Full Glory. And if you're interested in my, oh wait, no, it's Barb's Blend. Sorry. It's on Barb's Blend by R&R Reproductions. Sorry, I just checked my card. Wouldn't that be smart to check my card? If you're interested in my Color and Cotton conversion, let me know. I am more than willing to share. And it is the In Full Glory BB Sal. I will put that down below. So yeah, we're having fun with it. And I know a few people have jumped on. I know quite a few people have finished it. And yeah, we're doing well. So I keep this. This is one of the first bags I made. Those of you who have been here a while, you know I love Peanuts, Linus, and where is she? Lucy are my favorite. Franklin, I love Franklin. There he is. Pigpen. My mother called me Pigpen when I was little because I squirmed so much in my bed that my hair looked like Pigpens. And the last thing I have to show you that I've been working on, I pulled out last night for our monthly Hawrun Hollow Zoom that Pam from Stitching in the Land of Good Enough graciously hosts. And this is Shores of Hawrun Hollow. Let me see if I can find the cover. If I can't find the cover, there it is. Shores of Hawrun Hollow. This is a leap year SAL that I am hosting, meaning that it is designed to take 4 years from leap year 2024 to leap year 2028. And we're doing that so that you're not overwhelmed. Okay. So what we did, as soon as I find it, I had to put all this stuff away this morning because the cat decided she wanted to, you know, Mommy's stitching. I'm going to sit on her lap. So what we're doing, if you look at that first block with the lighthouse, we're dividing the blocks into quarters. That middle block with the ship will be divided into 8 sections. And the goal is to complete 1/4 of each block in a month. So you have 4 months to complete a block. I like this idea because, look at that one. It is full, all but full coverage. That's a lot. And I think that would be overwhelming. So by dividing it into fourths, to me, it's not so overwhelming. Same thing with the whale. Those 2 houses. So, yeah. Now, for some reason, Nancy, who hosted this thing, when I came off of my knee surgery May 1st, I had it in my head that I had to get block 1 done before the end of May. Maybe it was, the painkiller fog. I don't know. So, once I could stitch, I busted my buns, or my fingers, to get block 1 completed. Then someone reminded me that we started in March 1st. So I actually had March, April, May, and June to get block 1 done. So I'm probably a month ahead. And there's no Sal police. I am not one that's gonna, slap you on the hand and scold you if you're ahead or if you're behind. It's whatever you want to do. So last night was our, like I said, was our monthly Hawrun hollow stitch. And I was working on the seaweed. And then I got it all but done. So I pulled it out this morning and finished the seaweed. And I have that wonderful Franklin needle minder that a friend gave me. So there we go. So I put it away. I need to work on the border of the square. There's a crab down here. There's a big fish down here. There's a seahorse. There's a coral. So yeah, I'm pleased with it. This is on 40 count. Oh, let's look at the card. This is on 40 count light hazelnut. I'm not sure whose it is. Someone told me it was XJU Designs. I am using the DMC, and there were a couple of colors that I substituted with Color and Cotton, Weeks Dye Works, Classic Color Works, simply because I didn't have, stop it. Oh, she's being a nerd. Simply because I didn't have the DMC. And yeah, so I'm happy. So if you want to jump on board, some people are doing Shores of Hawrun Hollow. Some people are doing, Halloween. Some people are do whatever you want. Okay. It's just a chance for you to, if you've ever wanted to do a Hawrun Hollow, it's a chance for you to do one without feeling overwhelmed and to have fun with it. Now, I know I said in the beginning that I was going to try and organize some Zooms. With ending the school year, getting retired, cleaning out my room, and my knee surgery, I have not done that yet. So I am hoping that once I can figure out what evening and how many times a month we want to do this, because I know it's not going to suit everybody, then I will post it in my Facebook group. We'll go with that. If you want to be a part of my Facebook group, okay, it's listed down below, the Disorderly Stitcher. I have a few questions that you must answer. And you must be specific. Okay. So for example, the one question is local. What is your LNS? An LNS is a local needlework shop. And I know that many of us, including myself, don't have a needle workshop within, let's say, 20-25 minutes. The closest one to me is in Lancaster. And so I do quite a bit of my shopping online, and that's okay. So if you are one that likes to order your cross stitch supplies from Fat Quarter Shop, say that. Or Acorns and Threads, or Stitch New England, or Crafty Grimalkin, wherever you order from, let me know. Who is your favorite designer? If you have more than one, that's great. If you are, steadfast, I am a Teresa Kogut fan, you can put that down. That's fine. And, the one about, there's the last one is, are you, ready to commit to the rules of this group? And the rules are basically be kind, no spamming, the normal things for a Facebook group. The reason why I need you to answer these questions is so I have an idea that you know what you're talking about, and we can keep the trolls out. Now, does that mean 100% guarantee that they're not going to get in there? I can't guarantee that, because anybody could fake something. But if you don't answer the questions, I will kick back your request. I will decline with feedback, and the feedback will ask you to answer the questions and or answer them more specifically. If you don't answer them, or you don't give me some answers that give me an idea that you know what you're talking about, I will not allow you in the group. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope so. All right. The last thing that I have is a chart from my friend Chris the Camping Stitcher. It's called Freedom Rings. This is what grabbed me at the end of June, early July, and this is what I focused on. So I did it on a she charted it for 36 count light mocha by Zweigart. Excuse me. I just found a piece that worked. It's a 40 count. I have no idea fabric. I think it's a piece of color and cotton, but I couldn't be specific. So I grabbed it. I pulled my color and cotton threads. She has it charted for DMC, and I went to town. So I posted a picture of my finish. Hold on to your knickers, people. I fully finished it. There is one error, and I didn't catch it until it was fully finished. And that is the fact that this motif is lower than this one. It's because when I counted off of the M, I counted knowing it was for this lower one right here, and I did the higher one. I don't care. It's my pillow. You know what? I love it. So I backed it with a scrap of indigo blue Civil War fabric I had in my closet, and I had some red. In fact, I think she calls for the red sizzle Lady Dot Creates. I had a piece, and I glued it down. I did not sew it down. I have enough issues with trying to close the bottom because I have arthritis. But yeah. So anyway, let's look at it again, shall we? I finished something. Fully finished something. Let's ring that bell. Ding ding. Yay. I'm excited. So right now it's sitting up on my mantle. I know that the 4th of July is over, but it's a finish. And I love it. So that's Freedom Rings by Chris the Camping Stitcher. If you haven't checked out her patterns, she has an Etsy shop, The Camping Stitcher. She has some beautiful patterns. Very well charted, very easy to follow, and I highly recommend them. Okay? All right. So what else have I been up to? A friend of mine, Pink Daisy Stitcher, graciously gifted me with a couple of patterns and the threads for one of the patterns. And she gifted me some pony needles. If you don't know what pony needles are, people, they are awesome. They're shorter than regular tapestry needles. They're thinner, so they glide through the holes. I need to find some more of these. She sent me the ones that with the red eyes. I don't care what color they are, but you know, red is my favorite. And she sent me this beautiful, I'm guessing it's a scissors fob or a bag zipper pull or something, but she sent me this as well. So this could be used like a corner gauge, but you'd have to, you know, okay, I'm measuring in 2 or 3 or whatever inches from one edge and then the other. Okay, but I love it. So she sent me 2 of the new Plum Street. Now, she sent me the threads and the pattern for Quack Stack. I have never done one of Plum Street's stacking patterns. I fell in love with the ducks. I don't know why. I like ducks. Ducks are cute. Except for those big, honking, huge, excuse the pun, farm geese that chase after you and nip at your heels. But she also sent me the threads. I don't have the threads to show you because I did put them in my cabinets. But yeah, I'm excited to do that. And it calls for 40 count graham cracker by Graham Cracker Fabrics. I think that's Teresa Vanette's son. She's the kitten stitcher. But it's charted with DMC, all DMC. So yes, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Love it. Okay. And she also sent me We Remember. Now, I love this. I love the red poppies, not just because they're red, but because of their symbolism. Okay, here's your history lesson for the day. If you are not aware, the poppies are symbolic of World War One. They were growing, I believe they were growing on Flanders Field in Belgium. And every year on Armistice Day, I know at least in England that people will wear red poppies. Armistice Day is Veterans Day in the States. The one thing I'm thinking about doing, and I have never, to my knowledge, changed a chart purposefully. I don't understand this white cat. So I'm thinking of trying to chart part or all of the poem in Flanders Field in place of the cat. I may have to take out this poppy to do it, but so I'm going to do that. So, Kara, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate these. I received the other new chart from Plum Street and the threads. There is Liberty. It's a beautiful chart. It's going to tie in with Live on Little and American Welcome. So I have this one to do. I purchased off of the Stash Unload the With Malice Towards None, part of Abraham Lincoln's second inaugural address by Erica Michaels, and always thankful. I'm trying more and more in my life to do this. And I purchased, to go along with my love of nautical and whales and the whole 9 yards, I purchased Stacey Nash, Calling of the Sea. I love that whale. And I like the compass. I thought the compass would add to if I ever do a nautical display. So there we go. I also purchased 2 charts. So as you are aware, some of you may be aware from last video, I did a thing. I saw posted on Instagram. Excuse me. I saw posted on Instagram that someone was working on a full coverage from Heaven and Earth Designs. It had been charted from the signing of the Constitution. I think it's the Constitution. One of them. Painting. Okay, history nerd. I you know, I did the whole I see nothing. Are you a Hogan's Heroes fan? Like Schultz. Okay, I see nothing. And I tried and I tried and I tried. And finally I said, what the heck? So I bought the chart from Heaven on Earth Designs because when I went into their website, it was on sale. Yay! I did buy another one too. I will post a picture of it here. So it's big. It is big. We were talking about it last night at our Hawrun Hollow. I can't tell you off the top of my head how big it is. I'll put that down below. Anyway, so I went through my flosses and I pulled what I could. But some of these flosses, like the one, excuse me for reaching, the one I need 3371, I need 10 skeins of it. I have not. I have one. Okay, I should probably just go buy the 10 skeins. And like one other color needs 4. There's some of them that need 2. 939 is a deep blue. I need 12 of them. I had 2 of them. So I will probably, when Joann's has their DMC on sale again, I will probably go back and purchase the ones that I need a that was good English, a large amount of. So I have them all from the same dye lot. Does that make sense? The ones that only need I only need like 1 or 2, I'm not worried about it. But there's 89 different DMC colors on the list. Anywhere from white to, you know, there's even a couple pinks in here, and I haven't figured out why. I have to go back and look at the chart. So, excuse me for reaching again. My friend Erin, the hiking stitcher, if you haven't watched her, go check her out. She had sent me this Bluey bag. I explained my obsession for Bluey on my last video. So I pulled everything I had. I put all the flosses. They're not organized. Some of them are on cards simply because they came from other projects. Put them in there. So they're all in their happy little home for now. And I made 89 floss drops from scrapbooking paper. And then I glued some cardstock on the back to make them a little heavier. 89. I just grabbed whatever paper was, you know, on top. So I have like this green plaid, and I have the red plaid, and I have the blue. All right, that's just what was there. All right, so that took about 6 sheets of paper. So one of these days, my goal is to take all those flosses and put 1 skein of each one on these tags. I had ordered the Easy Grid fabric from Heaven and Earth Designs, and I don't know if they were on vacation or, you know, the holiday weekend or what, and I didn't get a shipping notice, and I didn't get a shipping notice. And why I got impatient, I have no idea, because it's not like I was going to start it right away. So I went into 123 Stitch and I purchased a big piece of 25 count. I will be doing this 2/1. I don't know. I'm trying to do what, you know, the experts do. So we'll see. We will see. But it's 25 count. So that's that, you know, so I told the girls last night on Zoom, I said, I will let you know what the address is of my rubber room when I start this. But because, you know, this could not travel by itself, I also purchased 2 Carriage House sampling charts. One which I had been looking at for a while, and one that, you know, as you're thumbing through the designer's charts, you're like, ooh, I like that too. So I also purchased, what is it? Nature's Peace. Nature's Peace. Sorry for the glare. I love the bear, the baby bear up the tree, the ram, the elk, the owl and the moon, the trees, the mountains. This she designed after, what did she say? I think a trip to the Rockies. I'm not sure. But anyway, I've never been to the Rockies. I have flown over the Rockies. I have seen the Rockies from a distance. I have never spent time in the Rockies. It's on my bucket list. This is charted with DMC. She also has an MPI conversion. I will most likely do the DMC. She charted it for 40 count legacy. Picture this plus. I don't know. I'll just grab something from my stash. But I love it. And it doesn't look too difficult. You know, I mean, those trees, they're not that hard. So I purchased that one. And this is one I had seen on the Nightly Stitcher. This is alphabet blocks. Maybe that goes back to my teacher background, but I love alphabets. This one is charted for DMC on eeny, meeny, miny, mo. This one is charted, it was stitched on 32 count dark cappuccino from R&R Reproductions. It's charted with Gentle Art sampler threads, but there's a DMC conversion. Like, to give you an idea, you would need 8 skeins of 310, 6 skeins of 3854. I am thinking, if I can, of, if I have enough of the colors, pulling my color and cotton. I would have to go in and purchase multiple skeins of black and multiple skeins of whatever 3854 is. But I would have to see if I can go in and match my color and cotton versus my DMC. If I can't, then I'll pull the DMC. That's down the road. But, you know, A is for angel, B is for bird, C is for cats, D is for deer, T is for thread, S is for squirrel. Yes. So I love it. So if you want to see this done, the Nightly Stitcher did it. It's beautiful. It's huge, but it's beautiful. All right. I also got I re-upped my subscription to Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. The main reason I did that is I wanted this. And if I could figure out how to convert this punch needle to cross stitch, I would. I am not going to go down the punch needle rabbit hole. I can't. I can't. I cannot. I can't. Nope. I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it, people. No. No, no, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Okay. Um, Give me 1 second. I have to find something I've misplaced. All right. Sorry about that. This is why I'm disorderly. Yes. So I had a share on my last video for 2 charts, or for 1 chart, and I had a share on the one before that. Um, and I did not hear back from one of the receivers of the share from 2 videos ago. So I redrew. Um, Please remember that when I do a share, you need to um, you need to comment below using the word and or the number or whatever I choose, and then I will use the random comment picker, and you need to email me when I announce your name. I do check my spam, but I haven't seen it in the spam either. Okay. So from 2 videos ago, I was sharing 2 charts that I had 2 copies of. One was Delaware by Thread Milk Designs. That was sent off to the receiver of the share. I redrew New York. This one is going to HVPTA 0813. So if that is you, please let me know in an email and I will get this off to you as soon as possible. Last video's share was the Scarlet House, Isabella Jackson, 1829, because I had 2 copies of it. This one is going to Carol Fawcett, 1297. Congratulations to you both. And I wasn't going to do a share this time, but you know what? What the hey? Halloween is coming up if you are a Halloween stitcher. So I'm going to put this up for share. I need to trim some threads. This is a project bag I made with Peanuts fabric. It is vinyl front. If you are interested in this project bag, it is quilted. All right. It is a nice 16 gauge vinyl, heavy duty, big zipper pull. If you are interested in this project bag, use the word, oh, what the heck? Just use the word Halloween. HALLOWEEN. All right. If you are interested in this project bag for the share, please use the word Halloween. And I will draw the day of or the night before, whenever I do my video, the next regular video, and we'll go from there. So, where's my handy dandy little notebook? So I have, the nice thing about being home and recovering, I don't know about you, but I like to put on something while I sew, while I stitch. It could be a documentary. I just watched through the Ken Burns documentary on country music. I love the origins of country music. I've decided that I am a older country music person, bluegrass person, much to my husband's delight, rather than the 50s or 60s country music. Not saying anything's wrong with it, but it's not my jam. And I'm not a big, current country music fan either. But anyway, with that being said, so I powered through that one. I've also started watching Ken Burns baseball. I love learning about the origins of baseball. I think I enjoy those type of things, more about the history before my time and when I was younger than I do about things that I remember. You know, like the whole Pete Rose scandal, and, you know, the Mark McGuire, is it Mark McGuire? The batting race, you know, the record race and things like that. So I've been watching that. I will go search for a movie, you know, maybe an old musical like Judy Garland musical or something like that. I will put on Flosstube and I will just let Flosstube, you know, rotate. Sometime I'll go in and look at the ones that I have in my subscription. Sometimes it'll just roll. So I have a huge list of Flosstubers that I have watched since the last video. Huge. So I just want to give them a shout. And if you are interested, please go over and check them out. I watched Hello Plum podcast. She's relatively new. I love her background. She's from Wisconsin, I believe. She has that old-fashioned red wallpaper that you would expect to see in an older house, maybe from the Craftsman era, with the wood trim. Love it. Emily C., of course, because we're doing the Ann Kirby Sow. Janet Jabber. She's prolific. Her videos are short and sweet, but she gets to the point, and I love her. Granite State Stitcher. She's up in New Hampshire. Cynthia Brew. Julian Stitches. She's another one from Wisconsin. She's been doing a lot of wonderful stitching. Thread Gremlins. I watched them for the first time. There's 3 gals. They have incredible stitching. Mama Loves You GB. Michelle is always a joy to watch on Sunday morning. Bluebird Paper and Thread. She's been doing a lot of stitching. And she also does paper crafting. Rara's Stitching Realm. R-A-R-A. This is the one I couldn't read last time. She's from New Zealand. So give her a check. Of course, Brendan, the serial starter. And Beck Stitches Everything. She's got a lot going. She does a lot of Mill Hills, and they're beautiful. Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. Olivia, she's the one that gave me the inspiration to do the Shores of Hawrun Hollow in pieces. She in assignments, or, you know, blocks, break the blocks down. She and her friends, Hollis Hands Creates, which is another one I've watched. They have a stitchy group, and so they give each other assignments for different stitches. I love that idea. Stitching with Sandy. She's a kindergarten teacher, but she gets so much done. She's also a model stitcher, and Sandy's incredible. Mrs. Jones Stitches. She's been doing a lot. 2 Cross Stitchers. They are wonderful. Handwork Maniac. She did a Mania carryover, and incredible. Stitching, Shan, S-H-A-N. It's short for Shannon. She is new. I think she has 3 videos out now. Cross Stitch Bunny. Mischievous Stitches. Stitching in the Land of Good Enough. That's Pam. Daisy K Primitives, the Nightly Stitcher. Redneck Bifocal Stitcher. She is new to me. She was wonderful to watch. Give her a check. Under the Evening Star. She's new to me. Tattooed Stitcher. I have heard her name so many times. I have never watched her until now. She was wonderful to watch. Molly McMaker. She's new. She's got one out. She has some great stitching. Hoop It Up with Jan. Never watched her before. The role found her. Hathaway Stitchers. Love those 2. Erin, when you smile, just the way you smile, I don't know if it's the facial expression or what, but you remind me of one of my twins, Beth. Just the way you smile. And, you know, you 2 together remind me of my twins. Just the banter back and forth. I mentioned Hollis Hands Create. She also has a shop on Etsy. Watch the Floss Boss and Cousins. Again, the banter back and forth makes me laugh. Blushing Pink Stitches. She is another one I watched. So I will try. I'm not going to, it's a lot of work to go in and get the link, but you know what? I don't mind. So I will do my best to link all of these down below, so that you can click and go. I don't always guarantee that the link works, but I will try. So if you're stitching and you can access YouTube on your smart TV, or if you have an iPad, or if you have a laptop, give these people a check. They're wonderful stitchers. And I know I have gained a lot of inspiration from many of them. I also want to add the Camping Stitcher. I watched her latest one. She's a prolific stitcher as well, and a wonderful designer. So, you know, another thing I forgot to tell you is I bought a label maker. I know, people, I'm being orderly, but I want to label some things in this room. I need to go through stuff. I need to go through quilting books and see, you know, am I really going to use these books? I need to go through fabric. I need to live another life. I hope I live another, 30, 40 years. 40 years, I'll be 102. So I can get as much of this used up as possible. There's a big sale at a local quilt shop tomorrow, Saturday, and I was going to go until I bought fabric yesterday. I'm not going now. I would love to. It's 30% off. I don't need to. So yeah. Anyway. So I think that's all I have for you. Please remember that if you enter for the shares, you must be 18 so I can legally ask for your address. If you liked what you saw in this video, please hit the notification bell so you know when I upload again. Please subscribe if you are so inclined. I greatly appreciate that. Please know that if ads pop up while you watch the video, I have no control over that. That's YouTube. Okay? I do not monetize. I have not monetized yet. I don't know if it's worth it. I honestly don't. I'm not here to make money off the channel. I don't think you make a lot of money off the channel. I don't know. I'd have to do some research. I had a thought. Did you see it? Did you see the thought go away? No? Okay. Well, it did. So please, take care of yourselves. Stay in during this heat wave. Give yourself grace. That's one thing I have tried to do over the past couple of years, is give myself grace. I'm a human being. I make mistakes. Please know that others are human beings as well, and they make mistakes. Lately, I have heard stories of viewers giving floss tubers grief. You shouldn't do it that way. You should blah, 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 blah. Give them grace. All right. They're not you. And they will stitch the way they want to stitch, and you stitch the way you want to stitch. You will quilt the way you want to quilt, and so on. All right. So without further ado, stitch what you love what you stitch, and keep your stitches crossed. All right. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.